My name is Robert Cunningham. I'm a bass player and electronic musician in Omaha. I play in a couple bands and I make electronic music here and there. I just graduated from UNO with a degree in jazz bass performance and music tech. So the way I guess that I got interested in music initially was I got a Barnes & Noble gift card for Christmas, and then I didn't want to spend it on a book, so I went ahead and spent it on an album. And I'd heard of the band Green Day, but I didn't know any of their music. And then so for the next about 2 years, I was just begging my parents to get me a guitar. So then eventually one Christmas they got me a guitar, and I've just been playing music since. So some of the artists that have influenced me, I guess, it's kind of all over the place. I like electronic music, but I also like jazz, and I also like rock and roll. So a lot of my favorite artists are like D'Angelo or SWV, kind of that 90s R&B sound. But I also really like a lot of that mid-2000s indie rock kind of sound, like the Vampire Weekend and MGMT and all those bands. But then I'm also really into electronic music. So I really like Richard D. James and like Autechre and those kinds of groups. My favorite genre to actually play would definitely be jazz. What draws me to jazz music is it's kind of a tradition for setting up an improvised jam session in a way that I think it lends itself towards a lot more exploration than you can really get in a lot of other genres. One of the most influential people I've ever gotten to work with was Benny Golson. He was a jazz saxophonist and composer. He composed standards that are still pieces that people learn to this day. He composed for Miles Davis. He was childhood friends with John Coltrane. And he's one of the last two surviving people of that really famous picture in Harlem where there's all the jazz greats are standing in front of that brownstone. And it was really awesome to meet him and talk to him, because a lot of people, like, when they make it big and they kind of become a legend, like, it kind of goes to their head. But he was like one of the most down-to-earth people I've ever met. He was just super cool, and he had like all kinds of advice for us as up-and-coming musicians. He was just a really awesome dude in general. So I'm currently in 2 different bands. One of them is called Bound and one of them is called Sasha. So Bound is a project that was started by my friend Kiara Walker. She's a singer-songwriter. I guess you could call it like indie soul music. Definitely some kind of soul R&B vibes, but also like a lot of rock and roll. So it's just a really fun group to be a part of. Everyone in that group is like amazing to jam with. And then the other group I'm involved in right now is it's called Sasha, S-A-Z-C-H-A. It's named after our lead singer and guitarist's dog, Sasha. So we're going more of a rock and roll bona fide direction, which is really fun and awesome to be part of. There's tons of opportunities to go out and support local artists and hear new music and meet musicians. Everyone in the Omaha scene's pretty accessible for the most part. If you want to ask them any questions or anything, find out more. And you can go out to all kinds of venues. There's the B-Bar, there's the B-Side, there's Barley Street Tavern, there's Harney Street Tavern, there's Blackstone Meatball, there's the Waiting Room, there's the Slowdown, there's the Sokol. I can honestly go on. There's tons of venues in Omaha.